Very good morning, students. This is Jay Vishakhan. For this lecture video session, I am going to take the new topic, which is general equilibrium from Unit 3. Let's see the general equilibrium. The economy is in state of general equilibrium when the demand for every commodity and service is equal to the supply for it. Each consumer is presumed to spend his entire income on consumption. So his expenditure matches his income. His income in turn depends on the prices at which he is selling his productive services. Thus, the demand of consumers for the various commodities depends upon their prices of services. Given the market structure of state of technology and aims of firms, the price at which the commodity sell depends on its cost of production. The cost of production in turn depends on the quantities of the various productive services employed and the prices paid for them. Assuming constant returns of scale and identical cost condition for all firms, each producer will produce and sell the quantity of product at which the demand price of the commodity equals both for the minimum average cost and marginal cost. Let us construct the general equilibrium model and find out where the point of equilibrium is. So before that, let's see the assumptions of the general equilibrium. There is perfect competition both in commodity and the factor market. Taste and habits of consumer are constant. Income of the consumer are constant. Perfect mobility of factors. Constant return to scale. No change in production techniques. All firms have identical cost functions and full employment of labor and other factors of production. Let's see the working of general equilibrium here. Given these assumptions, the economy is in a state of general equilibrium when the demand of every commodity and services is equal to the supply for it. Let's focus on product market first, then I'll just explain the factor market about the equilibrium. The market is in equilibrium at point E, where the market demand and supply intersect in point the graph. So we just talk about the market. The quantity is being considered in the x-axis and the price is considered in the y-axis. S is nothing but the supply curve and D is the demand curve. The intersection of D and S is the equilibrium point. Right? That's what it says here. It determines OP price. It determines the OP price and OQM output quantities purchased and sold in the market. There being identical cost condition as the represented in diagram 2, each firm in the market produces a commodity at a given price of OP. It is in equilibrium when marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue and average cost is equal to average net point E1 producing OQ quantity of commodity. So look at here, this is the firm graph where the quantity has been considered in the x-axis and the price is considered in the y-axis. The since it is a perfect condition, there is a perfect competition, the AR is equal to MR and which is parallel to the x-axis. And as you know, there are conditions MC is equal to MR, that's the intersection point where it's a equilibrium. And the MC curve must cut from the below of MR, so that's the intersection point. So that's what it shows here, right? Let's see the factor market. Given the state of technology and the profit maximization idea of the producer, the volume of the factor used in the producing a product depends on the inflation amidst the prices of that factor and of all other factors on the prices of products. Each producer maximizes his profits virtually to the verdict factor. Prices by employing diverse factors in such rations and volumes that their marginal revenue outputs are equal to their prices. Since there is full employment in the economy, the markets for factors are in equilibrium. When the total volume of factors presented and the total volume employed are equal, the equilibrium of the factor market are shown in the diagrams 3 and 4. Look at here, this is a market which refers the supply and demand intersection. That is the nothing but the equilibrium. Similarly, for the firm, if we just consider this is a firm, this is a market and this is a firm, perfect competition condition, the AR is equal to MR, which is parallel to the x-axis, right? And the intersection point, that is AFC, is equal to MFC. Okay. So in the diagram 3, the price of the factor OP and the quantity ON are determined the market by intersection of its demand and supply at the D and point E. In diagram 4 shows the supply curve of the factor to an individual firm is perfectly elastic and is the same of the marginal cost of the factor MFC. The firm will employ units of the factor at a given factor OP, where MFC is equal to MRP and AFC is equal to ARP to the firm. Such an equilibrium point is E1 at which it employs OM units of the factor. So thus the economy is in general equilibrium when the commodity prices make each demand equal to the supply and factor prices make the demand for the each factor equal to the supply, so that all product matter and factor mass are simultaneously in equilibrium. It is characterized by two conditions in which the set of prices in all product and factor markets such as A, and the consumer maximize their satisfaction and the producer maximize profits, and B, all markets are cleared, which means that the total amount demanded equal to the total amount supplied at the positive price both the product and factor markets. Hope you have all understood the concept of general equilibrium, where the product market and factor market discuss and to show the equilibrium state as a whole. Thank you.